Hello, everybody. My name is Lucas. In November 2020, my brother Mateo contracted COVID-19 like so many of us did. But unlike most of us, he hasn't yet recovered. Mateo is now what is known as a COVID long hauler, a title given to those whose COVID symptoms last more than 3 months. So, yeah. In all this time, he's been documenting his ups, downs, victories, and setbacks through journals, medical records, and love letters to you, the listener. And if he's come to one conclusion, it is that COVID is stupid. Perspective, where the window through which you view the world meets the you that you bring to it. Any long hauler knows that the road to recovery, the road to tomorrow, the road to that side of the room is riddled with obstacles. Obstacles that were not obstacles yesterday. And for some of us, the self that we're able to bring to that moment, well, it's struggling. But even then, the one thing that they can't take from you is perspective. Now, that doesn't mean it's easy. Sometimes those new perspectives that we cultivate are simply the byproduct of not really having any other options. So you find the things in life that bring you stolen moments of peace. And, if you're Mateo, you make it a singular focus that you plot and plan and plunder, and not only to set goals and meet them, but to absolutely, you know what? I'm not the one to tell you how it's done. I'm just the narrator. So let me pass it off to the guy who has spent 5 years intricately decorating his windows and the self he brings to them. Here's my big brother Mateo with 5 years Fancier.
Hugs and kisses and hugs to all you amazing long-hauling warriors. If you're listening to this episode on the day it was released, November 10th, 2025, then light a candle and blow it out, because today is my 5th COVID-anniversary. Happy COVID-anniversary to me. Happy COVID-anniversary to me. Happy COVID-anniversary, COVID-anniversary. I look like a monkey and I smell like one too. Please God, no more. Cha-cha-cha. Here we are. 5 years. Milestones like anniversaries are wonderful times to pause and reflect. Times to take a moment to look back in time. Time to look forward to tomorrow. And today, on this 5th COVID anniversary, I'd like to do just that by talking about Pokémon Go. Why Pokémon Go, you ask? Because near the beginning of Season 1, I detailed the help that I needed to swallow my pride and ask for in order to get from level 47 to 48 out of 50. Then in the kickoff episode of Season 2, I shared the news that I had recently reached level 49. I also made it very clear at that time that yes, leveling up in Pokémon Go would be the unit of measurement I would use to mark the time that we've spent together on this program. The thought I left you with was onward to level 50. Da, ba, da. At that time, I wasn't expecting the announcement at the end of August that the game was expanding to level 80, effective October 15th. This announcement came with all the delicacy of a kick to the crotch. They weren't just adding levels to the end of the game. They were restructuring all the levels and the requirements to get there. So almost everybody was going to get a new level assigned. And one important detail that they telegraphed loud and clear was that the existing reward for making it to level 50 would no longer be a thing. At level 50, your character in the game gets a special level 50 jacket. It comes in black or green, it's covered in Pokemon-related patches, it's completely digital and make-believe, but god damn it, that's what I'd been aiming for since November 2020 when the universe decided to tell me the shittiest knock-knock joke ever.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
COVID.
What?
Long COVID.
I don't know what that is.
Got you! Oh, you sucker.
What the hell just happened? Jokes aside, this Pokemon news landed like a sack of bricks. It had taken me over 10 months to accumulate the 25 million experience points needed to get to level 49, and now I was staring at 30 million needed to get to level 50. I was right there, but not right there enough. And I was pretty salty about it, too. After a few days, Wifey and Kiddo heard my tale of woe, and they had a mutual reaction that I was not expecting. They said I should go for it. They asked what I would need to do to get there and what could they do to help. Emboldened by their confidence, I took a step back and did the math. I had until October 15th, but set a goal of September 30th to get 30 million experience points. 1 million a day. Historically, I was accumulating 1 million experience points about every week to 10 days, so I had some hard grinding ahead of me. My usual routine of playing before and after whatever morning appointment I had that day, that was not going to cut it. So I started playing all the freaking time. Lucas actually came to visit at the beginning of September.
Howdy.
So he helped me dive into this new routine. We'd go out in the morning, we'd go out again after my nap, and then a third trip in the evening before coming home and I go to bed. And I didn't just catch and release. Every time I was playing, I was using something called a lucky egg, which doubled the experience points of anything I did for 30 minutes. I actually spent real-world dollars to buy Pokecoins to purchase redonkulous quantities of lucky eggs specifically for this purpose. Everything that I caught would come home with me, and once I got situated for a nap or for bed, I would evolve all these Pokemons and get experience points for that as well. I knew I didn't have the stamina for 30 million worth of continuous grinding. I had to figure out ways that I could accumulate experience points with my head on a pillow. So that's what I did. Go out, catch, come home, evolve. Go out, catch, come home, evolve. Wifey and Kiddo were a wonderful cheering section. They would ask for experience point updates and celebrate when I started getting ahead of schedule. On days I'd come home and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tired and I'm getting sick of Pokemon. They would hype me back up and say, "Hey, nobody said it'd be easy. If you want to get to level 50, you've got to work for it. Now get out there and catch 'em all." So I did. Go out, catch, come home, evolve. Go out, catch, come home, evolve. For 18 days in a row. Then, Days 19 and 20 I spent in bed as a reward for my efforts. But it is my way to focus less on the crash and more on the Herculean feats of Pokemon prowess and endurance that put me there. Because holy buckets! That was the first time in 5 years I managed to do anything for 18 days in a row. It was the evening of day 21 when I shared my exciting news with wifey and kiddo. Starting on day 23, there was an event in the game that would give double experience points for evolving, or quadruple with a lucky egg. And I'd been planning for this event for a long time in advance. I'd gone through all my existing Pokemons and earmarked hundreds of them to evolve during this event. Meaning, even if I didn't leave the house again, I have enough future evolution set aside to take me to 30 million. Good thing, too, because I was spent, depleted, running on empty, out of spoons, or as my dear sweet grandmama used to say, I was fucking tired as fuck AF.
Yeah, she never said that.
The event started, and my Evolvapalooza extravaganza started right along with it. Kiddo got home from school about 10 minutes before I hit the finish line. So she was there when I finally crossed it, hit level 50, got my digital jacket for my digital avatar in this digital game, and gave a weary hooray before taking a very real-world nap. And I thought that was going to be the story. I'd get my microphone out and I'd tell all you beautiful people that I'm level 50 and I'm so happy and hubba hubba hubba. But it turns out that wasn't the end of the story. I had until October 15th. My goal was September 30th. I finished on September 23rd. And for the next few weeks after that, I was exhausted. My spoon supply was running alarmingly low. I'd entered into the endeavor understanding that there'd be a cost. A cost in time, a cost in spoons, even a cost in dollars. But for those 2 exhausted weeks, I was a zombie. And worse, I had done this to myself. So there was another cost. A cost in time I could have otherwise spent with wifey and kiddo. And I had a hard time reconciling that particular line in the ledger. I put a lot of effort into not allowing guilt to find any purchase in my thoughts. I put a lot of effort into accepting the new limits on my definition of ability. I put a lot of effort into being okay with not being okay. But I couldn't shake this feeling. My guilt was right there, staring at me, and I couldn't dismiss him. We sat with each other for a few weeks. I even brought him to therapy with me a couple of times. I spent a lot of time thinking about why this might be. What message does my guilt want me to hear? To be clear, I wasn't thinking of my guilt in a negative way. It wasn't bad that he was there, but he was there nonetheless. So I treated him with kindness and curiosity. For he is me. And I wanted to see what would happen if I let him run its course. This endeavor, this goal that I had. It was the first thing in a long time that I did with a capital D. The first thing in a long time that had nothing to do with my health, nothing to do with my recovery, nothing to do with wifey and kiddo. It was the first thing I've done in a long time that was purely and exclusively for me, gratuitously and selfishly and beautifully, for me and me alone. And I did it. I did it hard. 18 days hard. And you know what? I'm really proud of myself for that. I set a very ambitious goal, I busted my ass, and I achieved it. And as of October 15th, I'm now at level 70. Was there a cost in time spent with wifey and kiddo? Yeah, I'm sure there was. Wifey and kiddo understood that from the start, and they still encouraged me to do it. If I had a normal allotment of spoons every day, I probably could have played Pokémon Go and been a good family man. But I only have the spoons that I have. And I made a choice of how I was going to spend some of them. I spent them on me. And eventually, I realized that's allowed. That's okay. When I got to that point, my guilt tipped his hat and climbed back into the mental shoebox I keep at the back of my mental closet. Then he probably took a nap because he'd been working overtime as well. Okay, it's been a long road to get here, but I am finally coming to a point. You ready? Here it is. We are sick. Yes, we are very, very sick. There is an obscene number of things that we can no longer do without price or consequence. We're sick. But we're not dead. We're still here. We can set goals for ourselves and work hard until we meet them. We can set ridiculously ambitious stretch goals for ourselves and bust our asses until we meet those or wind up flat on our backs. And either outcome teaches us something. I had no idea I could play Pokemon for 18 days in a row. I had no idea I could stare at my phone continuously for 90 minutes before getting a headache. It's good for us to probe the upper limits of our abilities from time to time. Otherwise, how do we know when they've improved? It's good for us to have things that we want, things that are just for us. They don't need to make sense. They don't need to make money. They don't need to make us better people or the world a better place. If they make us happy, if they make us proud, if they give us the strength to stay in the fight another day, even if they invite our guilt to come over and have an extended sleepover, they're all reminders that we are still here. We're still alive. Even 5 years later, we are still here. Of course, I'm still here sporting a sweet-ass level 50 jacket with Pokemon patches all over it. But you have things that are important to you. And my sincere hope is that you always have the spoons to get out there and enjoy them. I love you all. I see you all. I would hug you all if I could. strength and health. COVID is stupid.
I can say with a certain amount of confidence that I did not expect that when I sat down at the editing bay. Inspirational, health and wellness, humor, all atop the storytelling vehicle of Pokémon Go and the infinite allegory within. Good luck on the next 30 levels. What level are you on? I have it on good authority that Mateo would welcome with open arms any Pokémon Go discourse through any of our channels. You could email us at covidisstupid2020@gmail.com. And of course, that's stupid with 2 O's, not a U. But we're also on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Apple Podcasts. You know what? If there are podcasts on it, then we're likely there. And if it's a social media that your grandparents are on, we're probably there too. Just look for COVID is Stupid. Say hello. Say Pokémon Go. Say, hey there, Mateo. And Mateo's little bro. Nice to meet you. I'm just another person out here in the world, cleaning my windows, working on myself, and listening to COVID is Stupid.